Hey everybody, well, I was talking and didn't realize my phone shut down because the battery died. So it cut off shortly at the end of that video, so that's why it ended so abruptly. But there wasn't much more to it, but I decided to do one more tonight since I had all this stuff on the table already. I didn't realize I was going to run 30 minutes. I'll try to keep it shorter from now on. I got a lot of stuff. I mean, this pile is still enough to make a second video. I'll try to keep it a little bit shorter when I do these from now on. But since I already am set up for them and I talked about them before, I'll do this one tonight too as well. Also, I decided to make playlists for each video I post. So part 1 has a playlist in the description. Every band I talked about has a video in there. Generally one of my favorite songs from them. This video will have its own separate playlist. I'll post a link in the video as well. I'm just going to get started with this and we'll go from there. Maybe we won't because I got my list all jacked up here. You have to bear with me guys because I'm kind of going backwards here. My cat's on the table probably going to drive me fucking batshit crazy. Alright, we'll start off with a couple more vinyls and we'll go with a band called DC LaCroix, however you want to say it. Good hard rock, 80s, mid-80s, almost sounding, if it wasn't for the female vocalist, it would sound a little new wave, heavy metal, but decent band. It's one of those bands you listen to and it just reminds you of the later 80s. I like it. The video I posted is, Jesus, I get on this camera and I forget everything I was just thinking about. Something Devil's Son or something like that. Anyway, now I'm completely moron again. The next band is called Widow. Now you may see that cover and you may think hard rock, metal, hair metal. No. There's a couple of songs on here that are hard rock, but it's pretty much AOR. There's 2 songs on here that I like a whole lot. That's what makes me, that's why when I seen it for $5, I bought it for that reason alone. But it's really funny because 8 out of the 10 songs I don't even like that well, But it has a little bit of a blues influence to it. Like I said, you look at it, you think hard rock. I'll just slide this out for you, and you can see it looks more country rock, but it's not that. Don't get me wrong, but it's worth a few bucks if you can find it. There's a song on here called Bitch, Burning Love. Well, Give Me a Reason's good too. Half the songs on here are decent. I mean, I wouldn't completely trash. I wouldn't tell you to buy it. It was terrible. In fact, it wouldn't be in my collection. It would be thrown out or treated. And Warlock, Doro Pesh. I mean, if I had to tell you about her, you don't know metal. I don't care if you don't like female fronted bands. But anyway, that's going to be a quick one because y'all know about her. Alright, now we're going to go to back to CDs. It's a little bit easier since I already have them out. We're going to go with this band called We Are the Fallen. Before Amy Lee lost their shit and the band they didn't break up. Guys left from the band, Evanescence. They started this band called We Are the Fallen. They got the singer from the American Idol show, Carly Smithson, if you ever know. She sounds a lot like Amy Lee, a little bit more grittier and down low. I think this is the only album they ever put out. I think they just sounded so much like Evanescence that they just couldn't do it. They couldn't compete, or it just sounded like a complete ripoff. I think it has a lot of difference to it. I think it's a great album, and I don't care if a band's as good as Motley Crue and it sounds like Motley Crue. I like that band too. You know what I mean? Anyway, next one is a band called Hellion Prime, sci-fi power metal. This is another dive bomb release. They got a new singer, so I don't know the new singer right now. Heather Michelle, right? Yeah, Heather Michelle was the vocalist here. The album, the music's really good. Her voice is good, but it doesn't fit. You ever listen to an album and listen to the singer and I'm like, you don't really belong in that band. Some songs it works, but that's why they got a new singer, I'm assuming. I seen a new video for the the upcoming release, and that girl kicks ass. So they got the girl to fit the music. So that's going to be really good. I think it's a black girl too. Not that that matters, but you don't see too many, you know, black girls, women in heavy metal. I'm just trying to see where I went off here. We other phone. Okay. Adrenaline Rush. If you know the singer or solo artist called Issa, it's another frontier singer. She's got a great voice. She's Finnish or Swedish like these guys are. It's kind of a budget version of her. Her voice gets a little high sometimes and not good, but it's total 80s, mid-80s, late 80s, yeah, good hair metal style stuff. And like I said, I put everything I'm showing you, there's a video in my playlist of them. Evanescence, I don't think I need to talk about them much. Amy Lee, one of the best female voices in any kind of music ever. Probably top 20 for me. All right, Lizzie Hale from Halestorm. I really shouldn't have to say much about her. I remember these guys are from back home close to Philly, where I'm from originally. Trevos, I think it is. One of those. But her and her brother used to be like a little tiny, two-person a group, you know, they play all the little Christian songs and stuff like that. I probably still do have it in my thing. I used to have a little cassette of theirs, like a little demo cassette they made that I bought when I seen them, some kind of little fair or something like that, or church thing or something, and they were playing it and they were selling. They had their own little merch table and stuff, and I got one of their cassettes, so I have to pull that out someday. Here's a band, Stitched Up Heart. The first two EPs, the first full length, are a little of that girly pop, hard rock from the mid. It's still around, but from the mid 2000s, 2012 era. You know, all these bands were coming out with girl lead singers, and they all sounded kind of the same. Well, their first two kind of sound like that, better quality, better musicians. But this one, they totally changed their sound. I would give them like a second rate in this moment, but with more of a like hard rock sound to the guitar, to the music, the guitars, the drums are just booming on this thing. There's a song on here called "Finally Free." When I first heard it, it's one of those songs was just like, wow. I listened to it like 5 times in a row. Also, in my playlist, I'll be posting with this. Now, one of my absolute favorite bands in the last 5 years is a band called Letters from the Fire. These guys are awesome. It's a modern play on late 80s, early 90s, musically modernized, obviously. And her voice is killer. She's got growl, she can sing high, she can sing soft. Just something about that band that just catches me. I think because they have a little bit of that old school sound behind the singer. That one's autographed, by the way. Romantic Rebel. I was talking about these guys earlier when I was talking about Cobra The Lotus. KT Page, the singer on this, is an artist as well. And so she actually drew the cover art for Cobra The Lotus 7-inch single they released called Zombie, and she drew the cover artwork. This little side note thing. But this is really good, hard, gritty rock. She's got a real, in-your-face kind of voice. This is their first full length. It's their own full length, actually. They put out a self-release one before this, but I cannot find. And then they got signed to Pavement and released this. And then they put out an EP, which I have, that's better than this. And they did that independently. And they kind of took a hiatus, so I don't know what they're going to be doing. Oh, I didn't name this girl. Her name's Cabrizi, right? Yeah. Alexa Cabrizi. Stitched Up Heart is Mixie. That's just her name, Mixie. Now we got another UK band. Right? It's not right. UK band called Arestia, however you want to say it. Heavier, modern, girl band sound. They got some, harsh backup vocals here and there. Songs range from poppy to heavy. This album's their best album. I think this is already full length. I got 2 others. I think they're both EPs, but they're releasing a new album now. Although the new album sounds really soft from what I've heard so far. So, and her name was, my God, I can't remember her names now. The rest of these should be Lisa Avon. Yeah, Lisa Avon, blue hair chick. I think this is from like 2010 or 11. Yeah, 2010. They haven't put out shit in a while, come to think of it then. I got like a double whammy here. I got a band called Lullaby. This band is a Finnish band, or it's Finnish, I'm pretty sure. Her name is Tania Liana, how you want to say it. And this is killer hard rock, metal. That Finnish sound from the 2001. They had a sound back then, and it just has that sound. It's a really good album. It has a lot of heavy moments and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm going to follow the same band because after that album, Tania left. So what did they do? They went out and got another Tania. Her name is Tania Liana. One of the few times where one person leaves and another jumps on, and it sounds just as good. She's got more of a down low gritty voice than the other one did. The other one gets really high sometimes. But they did 3 albums with her and a little trivia thing or whatever. But the band's actually disbanding, and they did I think they're doing a greatest hits or some kind of album. And the original singer came back to do a new track on that. So that was pretty cool to know. Now this one's a one-off. I think it was MySpace back in the day. Was it? Yeah. Anyway, the girl's called Michael Beasley. Yes, it's a female named Michael. And it's a little EP. We got it off of, I'm not sure it must have been, had to be MySpace. Bought it directly off of MySpace, and it's a 3-song EP. Her dad is actually a musician, a nobody. He actually plays the band. She's like 13, 14 here. And the band behind her, the guys are all in their 50s or late 40s or something. But her father actually plays bass and does background vocals on here. It's a little pitchy. It's just one of those, cute little EPs. It's hard rock, It has some moments in there. I don't know what she's doing now. I actually looked it up after I pulled this a little while ago. I can't find anything about her on Facebook, so I don't know if she changed her name or what. When I punch in Michael Beasley, her father comes up, and his father's name is Jason. So I don't understand all that. But it's just a cool little thing. I got a lot of those kind of little one-off albums, These girls are also off of, this is just an EP, and this is how it came. They clearly made it themselves. A band called Atomic Blonde, all-female band. And this is the original one they released on their own. What was her name? Dacia T. She's got a good high, low, and a little bit of growl on this one. They redid this entire thing, and it turned it like really light and poppier. Still good, but it just doesn't have the same rawness this has. And it's just a little literally came like that demo. But I've always loved this thing. It always sits out. The ones I like, they always sit out so I can play them constantly. So that was a good one. Next one is a band called Private Life. I need a new cover for this. Warner Brothers Day. Everybody was signing all these bands back then. I can't remember what it was. I think in 89, 90. Yeah, it was an AOR style, female fronted. It's like bad English with a female singer. I mean, that's the way I can put it. It's got a bit of a bite to it. The guitars are pretty good in there. I like it. I mean, it's different. It's not something I listen to all the time, but I do find myself wanting to hear a couple songs from it here and there, This one might throw you for a loop here. Josh Stone. I love her voice. She's easily like a top 10 for me. And I like the covers she does. You don't do them here, but if you look on YouTube, one of the videos I posted is a cover of I Put a Spell on You. My God, if that doesn't give you, I don't care what kind of music you like, that's one of those goosebumps for me. You got to check that out. But her voice is insanely good. I don't know how to explain it to you because it's very unique to me. She has a lot of pop stuff like this. There's a couple of pop songs on here, but the non-poppy tracks are amazing tracks. Now, one of my top 5 favorite singers ever, Janis Joplin. Love Janis. I like her live stuff even better. That woman sang from the soul. I mean, when you watch her sing, it's like Hendrix playing guitar or Vaughn playing guitar. Joe Cocker, when he sings, you just know that that's in their soul. Now, some of you guys may get this off the bat. Man, I hate these digipacks. Well, it's a solo, it's not a band, but it's called Pamela More. And she's best known for doing vocals for Queensryche's Operation My Crime. Sister Mary, she's Sister Mary. Sweet Sister Mary is one of my all-time favorite songs. And the live version's even better with her. But she has a couple albums, before the Queensryche stuff. She put out albums, but they're mostly like soft rock kind of, if that kind of music. But this is pure heavy, hard rock, hair metal, even some really heavy stuff on here at times. Really good. I think there's a couple. Let me look real quick. Michael Posh, he does a lot of the engineering. He's also the good guitarist and Avantasia too. He's in a lot of stuff. He does a lot of European stuff, but he's also a really good guitarist. Who else is in here you may know? Jeff Loomis. You know Jeff Loomis. He's in Arch Enemy right now. Amazing guitar player. That's all I can think of right now, so I'll just go with that. That's a really good album on Rat Pack Records. You can still get it. I had a couple of years ago, 2013. Goddamn, time flies. She's actually doing a new album right now. Here's a German band called Hell City. Her voice, her name is, what's her name? It's Michelle something. Michelle Novella. Her voice is very similar to Sharon Denadel from Within Temptations, mid-range and a little bit of the high. I mean, if I close my eyes, sometimes I think it's her. But these guys are heavier. These are more like the old Within Temptation. Got a good hard rock metal vibe to them. This is their first album. But really good. I don't know what year this was, but their new album is really good too. I can't remember which song I posted on my thing. And here's a cool little band. This is older. This has got to be from 2006. Band called Outlet. Whoops, damn cat hair. With 2 T's at the end. The video I posted is a video of them covering Pat Benatar's Invincible, and it's heavier and it's kick-ass. I really, really like that version. That's not on here. This is the demo one I got from them when they were doing it themselves. This is also from MySpace. You can tell it wasn't that fancy back then, you know. But killer band. It's a shame they didn't go far. They started to bite a little bit, and then all of a sudden it just disappeared. Next is a band called Sahara. This band's from the late 80s, early 90s. They put out 2 albums in the 90s, this being one. I think it's a German label, right? Yeah, Dreamsicle Records, Iris. This is a German label. Her name is... Shit, what is it? Liz Vandal, right? Liz Vandal. Think heart, but hair metal. Heavy, harder metal. Harder rock. Amazing vocalist. The band's really good. I mean, this album should have went somewhere back in, it was 92, so you know what happened. Everything was getting bashed out of the way because of that stupid-ass alternative shit. But killer album. The second one's good. Her voice is really good, but it just doesn't have the bite. It's like every other band. Their first album, you can tell they're hungry. You can tell they had years to prepare. It's just like that. Killer album. Sahara, going crazy. If you're a fan of like 80s, late 80s hair metal, and you like Heart, this is like perfect for you. I think got 2 more left, guys. This one is a band called Malik. I found these guys off of Cold Kingdom and Romantic Rebel. I found these guys that way too. They're all from the, kind of were from the same area, and they just kept on promoting one another. So that's how I found these guys. Another killer band. They're not around anymore. She left. But the band's called Malachi, just like Children of the Corn, Malachi. Spelled a little bit differently. It's just an EP, a little simple EP. This one was called Blue. Great hard rock. She's got a killer voice. I hope she does something. I've seen something of her, but it sounded like it was more pop that I didn't care for. But killer hard rock voice. Again, it's in my thing. I'm just going to show you these because this is their second EP. After this, she left. But this EP is called Black. And her name is Shawna Lease. Shawna Lease. Great. I mean, this is how this band didn't get signed with the sound they have these days. This is totally one of the better bands you'll see out there, unsigned especially. And this last one's a little unusual for me because it's kind of one of those girly bands I was talking about earlier, but it's from like this year. No, 2015. But they put out a song this year called I'm all confused. Yeah, this year called White Lies that I really liked. But this is their EP, UK band. And look, I mean, plain Jane looking. The girl's got a unique vocal, unique sounding vocal. It's got a little bit of that girly swing to it, but she can sing on different levels really, really well. I'm surprised they haven't been signed yet. I think they will get signed based on what I've heard so far. Actually, I think they may be wrong. I think they may have got signed to the same label as Stitched Up Heart, which would make sense. But a good young, I think they're all 15, 16, 17 years old. But I mean, these kids musically are not like us retards back then. We were playing Smoke on the Water. We thought we were good. Very good. Again, it's got that modern girly sound. I don't know how to say other than that. But I like it a lot. I mean, obviously, if I'm buying it, I like it. I mean, I bought it from the UK, so. But another good band to check out. Again, all these bands are in my SIG. I put everything I talked about has a video. Part 1 also has its own playlist, and it's in the video description, and I'll put this one in the video description too. Mouth's getting dry again. Cheers, Reese. I'm done talking for the night. I'm kind of losing my voice a little bit. I know these are a little bit long, but I kind of want to talk about each one and kind of give you an idea. And I know it's really hard to give ideas of what I'm hearing versus what you guys will hear. We all have our own little niche. We all seem to fall into the same categories for things, but we all also have our outside influences and likes and stuff like that. So, best description I can give you. That's why I threw a playlist for these to make it easy for you guys to run through. And if a song starts out slow or something like that, give it a chance. I mean, listen to all of it, because a lot of the songs, like the symphonic or gothic stuff, will start a little bit slow and kick in. So don't listen to something and think that's going to be how the whole song is, because almost none of that is. So I'm going to get out of here. Thank you again for watching my videos, and all your subs, and Vinyl City George, if you're watching. See all those? It's all part of your prize, buddy. Y'all have a good night, and I'll catch you soon.